Okay, and we're live on YouTube.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
So I'm calling the April 13th Snow Library Board of Trustees meeting to order. Per usual, the meeting is being recorded and being also broadcast live on the town's YouTube channel, and the recording will be made available through the town's website subsequently as well. If anyone is planning to record this meeting, it seems like a senseless kind of thing to even say anymore. You should notify the chair of your intention to do that. I will just kind of read who's in attendance. If you could just acknowledge that you're here. Carolyn Dowd.
Yes, I'm here.
Mary Ruland.
Right here.
Jan Crabtree.
Yep, here.
Steve Gass, me, Kevin Galligan.
Here.
Okay, I think that's.
I'm here, Steve, if you care.
I'm sorry, Joan Francolini. Thank you, Joan. So let's see. Is there any public comment? Okay, not seeing any public comment. Then we could move right on to approval of the minutes from the March meeting. Jeff, thanks for getting those out in a timely fashion, everyone. So everybody had a chance to read the minutes? Or if has anyone have any changes to make or suggested edits to make to the minutes? Not seeing any. Do we have a motion to approve?
I make the motion to approve.
Thank you, Carolyn. Second? Jan, second.
Sure.
All those in favor of approving the minutes, say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Okay, looks unanimous. Thank you. I just have a brief report today, just to let you know what I've been up to after our last meeting. I did appear before the select board a few weeks ago, several weeks ago, when they were discussing the budget for next year and the in particular the capital 5-year capital improvement plan, asking that they reconsider where they place the replacement of the Snow Library roof. They had pushed it back 2 years. I had asked them to just push it back 1 year, and with the proviso that we would work with Ron Collins to get an independent analysis of the state of the current roof as to whether it could, whether we could safely risk moving it back next year, another year, or not. And I think that has been approved and will be recommended in the capital improvement plan that we see presented at the town meeting in May. So that was a nice thing. And also I've been working with Tavi on just kind of the follow through on from our meeting last time related to the movement of the sewer pump and the implications that has for the parking lot and the landscaping, etc. So Tavi and I hope to meet with Ron Collins and Tom Daly sometime in the next month to kind of review the situation and what would make sense, and in particular as it relates to what kind of improvements we might be able to make to handicapped access and handicapped parking since they're going to have to tear that parking lot up anyway when they do this sewer pump project. So I think that's all I have to report today. So I think unless there's any questions regarding that, we can move right on to the financial report. Over to you, Carolyn.
Yes, thank you. The budget report for March 2021. Under town accounts, expenditures, salaries, $37,205.93. Operating expenses, $13,005.45. Under Friends accounts, expenditures, media purchases, and the copier, $10,064.42. Children's programs, $93.04. Museum passes, $550. Under revolving account, expenditures, wireless hotspots, $28.28. Deposits, general contributions, $538. Under trust funds, expenditures from the Cycle Trust Fund, audiobooks, $41.60. Deposits, interest for March, $1,974.56.
So I just have one question, and maybe this is to you, Tavi, as it relates to the budget. So it looks like we're well under budget as it relates to what would kind of normal expenditure rate. And I was just curious, is that a conscious effort as it relates to kind of budget tightening, you know, as requested this year and next?
No, what it is just general, because the expenses are less from us doing curbside service, and particularly with programming. Although we're doing some online programming, there isn't as much as there was before during in-library programming. And then some of it, especially in the operating expenses, it's just it varies from year to year. Sometime we have more expenses in repair and maintenance of public property than we do in other years. And our supplies, our office supplies is lower, even though we are expending more and doing curbside service, we're utilizing less in other areas. And then as far as like the salaries, they're a little under because one of our pages is only working 1 day a week right now because of curbside rather than 3 days a week.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions or comments as it relates to the budget? Thank you, Carolyn. So I believe that brings us over to you, Tavi, for your report.
Okay, thank you. The status of library operations. Snow Library is continuing to provide contactless curbside service, and I have been meeting on at least a weekly, if not every other week, with the other libraries in the area. Tomorrow I'm having a meeting with all of the libraries in Clams for a membership meeting, and one of the topics of discussion is resuming open browsing. Right now, the time period we're looking at is we're thinking maybe late May. By the end of May, the situation with the virus may improve, and certain health risks associated with it, like the influx of people and the variants of the virus will have more of a known quantity by then. Within the last 2 weeks, you've probably read in the paper, seen in the news, there has been a surge of COVID-19 cases here on the Cape and in our area. And so most of the libraries still in Clams, about 60%, are still doing totally curbside. Much more than that, even if you include the ones that are having just like their lobby open. So we're thinking that hopefully the plan is by the end of May, the situation will have improved, and so we're looking at possibly resuming open browsing, then I would still have to submit an open browsing report to the town administrator and the health agent. And I would need their approval. And it would be under the same conditions as we had before, with limited time in the library, the reading room not being open, no chairs for people to sit. It would be 30 minutes for 30 people maximum. The library water fountain has been completed and installed. I'm very grateful to plumber Bob Freitas and his excellent crew, and of course to facilities manager Ron Collins, who coordinated all of this, and to master carpenter Seth Pearson, who was responsible for doing all of the pre and post installation work. And so the water fountain is not only working and accessible, but it's also very attractive looking as well. So we look forward to that when we resume open browsing. I'm sure people will be very happy about it. And then in response to Joan mentioning at the last meeting about the new bookstore that replaced Main Street Books, I did reach out to them by email, and we have, as I wrote in my report, we've always at the library tried to patronize local businesses. And when we're, for example, when we have an author talk and we need large quantities of books, and also sometimes when we're collaborating on programs together, we will often reach out. We did so to Booksmith, Musicsmith when they were in existence. I used to go to Main Street Books all the time for that, and Lifetime Learning used to as well. So I just contacted them and said, if there's any way we can collaborate that's mutually beneficial to both of our organizations, we'd love to do it. And also the next time we need a large quantity of books, either for a one town, one book read, or for classes, or for an author talk, that we would certainly be in touch with them. And then the last item on here, the Margaret Fernald Dole painting, I think I'm going to defer that to the new business when it comes up for the vote, and I can mention all of that at that time. In Ann's report, she and Jane, and I've mentioned in other meetings, have been working on trying to get Storytime bag kits available, which were requestable not only for people who come to the library through curbside, but also through clams. And they finally have 2 kits available, and they've been very popular. The craft kits for this month are a bird feeder for spring and a scratch art kit. And as of April 8th, 30 of the kits have gone out so far. And Anne has also been busy working on the summer reading program and calendar and events. She's had posters made for the summer story walks. She's processed books relating to the summer reading program and the crafts that go along with them. And she's designed some family programs for this summer, Cloud Bingo and a Mythical Beast scavenger hunt. And she's continuing, of course, to do Reader's Advisory. And she also has 2, usually every year, she designs 2 separate categories in the children's area. In the past, it's been castles, and this time it's dinosaurs and homeschooling. So all the items, all the books that have to do with dinosaurs, she puts in one area and puts special designations on them so they're easier to locate. And also homeschooling, which has been very popular now, of course, because of the pandemic and people doing remote learning and education. So that, I think those are going to be very popular. And I think that's my report.
Any questions for Tavi? Okay, thank you, Tavi.
Thank you.
Judy Ryan, I'm sorry I forgot to introduce you earlier. You're representing the Friends today.
Yes.
And thank you for attending. And please go ahead with your report from the Friends of Snow Library.
Well, the Friends, their biggest activity right now, of course, is Lifetime Learning, which is going very well with record-breaking attendees and reaching people all over the country, actually. And I think that ends on May 6th, if I have the correct date. It's mostly being done from people's home but there were a few presenters who are using the library space that Tavi has graciously arranged so that they can work there when they need to. The Friends is also going to be restarting the book sales starting this Saturday, pending the weather. So the collections have been resumed as well, and they're on Wednesdays and Saturdays by appointment only. And the phone numbers are on the Friends of Snow Library website. The Friends have also, as you may know, decided to start a project with little libraries in various locations. So the first one is going to be at Nauset Beach, and I won't know till Thursday exactly where at Nauset Beach, but there hopefully will be others to follow. And the Friends have also arranged for storytellers to be performing on the green next to the library this summer. And I'm sorry, I don't have the exact dates of those events, but that is another one of the projects that the Friends is working on. And I think that's basically all I know. I didn't actually realize I was supposed to give a report.
Thank you, Judy. I know the first time I attended a Friends meeting as the rep from the trustees, I ran into that same problem. I was like, oh, I'm supposed to give a report. Okay, but I think
I've covered most of it, and our finances are very good. And there will be a lot of money to donate this year.
Well, the storyteller activity sounds very interesting. So I look forward to see what that schedule looks like. Any questions or comments for Judy? Joan?
Hi, Judy, I know with Zoom, do you think when everyone can be in person, you'll still offer some Zoom? Because I know my mom and her friends are able to do more because of it.
Actually, yes, that is the plan. It's been so successful doing the lifetime learning on Zoom that the plan is for it to continue in a hybrid fashion next year. And we're not the only organization who's going to do that. I think most organizations who have gone to Zoom have realized it offers a lot of opportunities that you don't get otherwise. You reach different people and more people, and you can actually get speakers you wouldn't get otherwise as well. So yes. Kevin.
Dave, could I comment?
Yes, go ahead, Kevin.
And Judy, you probably recognize I was part of the afternoon session with Mark Silverstein today. And I just want to compliment you, not only in terms of bringing in the speakers, but just to share with all of the library trustees that the use of Zoom, particularly this session, caused for really good interaction. The speaker and Judy, I think your technical team used multiple polls. So it queried folks' feelings about issues with ethics in medicine. That was really very effective. I got so much out of it, and really compliments to you putting these together.
Well, thank you. We owe a lot, of course, to Ellen Burley, who is works tirelessly on organizing it, but our technical team, and that's Don Ouellette and Tim Cunahan, we couldn't do it without them, and as Tavi knows, and they are going to be they're working on coming up with technology to be able to film ongoing presentations to be presented via the internet for the upcoming session. And I should also mention that we have already reached out to some of the groups and communities that wouldn't normally be able to attend lifetime learning, such as some of the nursing homes and the assisted living facilities on Cape Cod, and they can now subscribe to their choice of programs and then show them to their clientele. So that's another very positive aspect.
Yeah, definitely. It's been great.
It was good.
Thank you. Other comments for Judy? Thank you, Judy.
Okay, you're welcome.
Any other reports? do we have any old business that anyone wants to talk about today? Okay, I think that brings us to our new business, and I know we have one particular item that Tavi will present. So over to you, Tavi.
Thanks, Steve. Eleanor Tamsky, who's joining us here today, is the granddaughter of artist Margaret Fernald Dole, and she contacted me recently wanting to donate to the library one of her grandmother's paintings as part of the permanent collection here. And the subject of the oil painting, and please, Eleanor, if I'm misspeaking or saying anything correct, please jump in and correct me.
I will, thank you.
Thank you. The subject of the oil painting is Mrs. Dole's son and daughter, and the painting is entitled Fairy Tales. And I included a copy of it in your packet. It looks like this. And it was painted circa 1935, and it's framed in a gilded Newcomb Macklin frame. Miss Dole was an active member of the Orleans community and Snow Library during her summers spent in her Nauset Heights home. And upon her death in 1970, her family established the Margaret Fernald Dole Memorial Fund to use for Orleans community art exhibitions administered by the Orleans Cultural Council. And the painting that Ms. Tamsky wants to donate to the library is 40 inches in length by 33 inches in width. And the reason I'm asking the trustees to vote to approve or disapprove the acceptance of the painting is that it's in the trustees manual that any non-monetary gifts must be approved by the library's acceptance of gifts and memorials policy. The only other thing I forgot to mention, so the medium is oil. It's an oil painting.
Beautiful. Yep, that covers it.
So I have a question. Eleanor, I'm wondering, is that your mom or your dad in the picture?
This is my father and my Aunt Grace.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a very nice picture.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, I thought the subject matter was appropriate for the library with reading together and her association with Orleans.
And Tavi, correct me if I'm wrong, but I know when we discussed this last week, you had indicated that you had talked with Anne and Kaimi, and everyone seemed to agree that it was very appropriate for the children's section, and that you had a spot that it would fit nicely.
Yes, we have one main spot that we're looking at. It's very prominent. Everyone will see it when they walk in. There's another spot that's also fairly prominent, and we're going back and forth depending on where it looks the best and what will give it the most exposure. And we actually have a third spot for it as well. So there isn't an issue about where to put it. We have at least three very prominent spaces to put it.
Okay.
And would we put some kind of placket with it or something to kind of indicate, it's the artist and et cetera? And
yes, we would put a little plate with it with all of the pertinent information.
Right. Mary, did you want to say something?
Oh, I just wanted to make sure that there weren't restrictions from the family about where it should be, or that it should always be in the same place. That's the kind of thing that it's important to know if there are any restrictions they would place on where or how often, or if it had to be moved somewhere. Would that be acceptable, or?
Oh, yes. No, there would be no restrictions on.
Okay. Yeah.
Your use
Because
of
I
the
think,
painting.
that's important to know in case something would change and it wouldn't be in the usual
Right.
place, or it wouldn't be up for a period of time or whatever. Not
Yeah.
likely to happen, but it's good to know that
Right.
that would not be an issue.
No, not at all.
No?
I think it's a stunning painting, and I thank you for donating it. I mean, your mom has a great history. I looked her up, and
Yeah, thank you.
Really quite amazing. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you. I'm happy to donate it. I'd like to have it be in a good home. There are many other paintings too, so.
Bring them on over. Take them up.
It is beautiful and very appropriate. I mean,
Thank you.
be
Right.
wonderful where they're talking.
And
It's
as I
wonderful to
said,
see.
I am willing to deliver it at some point. And,
Yeah.
you know, I'll set that up with Tavi probably.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
It's very nice to see a painting where it's just reading and there's no razzle dazzle. No
Yeah, it is
screaming,
special,
no-
yeah.
No, nothing. It's
Yeah.
very peaceful and inviting.
Thank you. Good.
It's very nice of you to part with it.
Oh. I'm glad it's going to be seen. You know,
Mhm.
I don't have enough space for all the art that has been left behind.
Lucky you.
I
Yeah.
know.
Lucky you.
I am lucky, very fortunate. But I would love to share this, and I'm very happy that you would like to have it. So we can make further arrangements to get it there.
So,
Bobby, I mean, Steve, do you want a motion that we accept the painting?
that'd be great, Jan. That was just about
Okay.
what I was going to ask for. Thank you.
Okay. I move that we accept this beautiful painting for the library in the permanent collection.
I second that.
Great, thank you. Any further discussion? So all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Very enthusiastic. Aye.
Enthusiastic acceptance. So
Mhm.
Eleanor, thank you very much for your generosity.
Thank you. I'm so happy that you're going to accept it. I
Thank
look
you.
forward to visiting and
Mhm.
being on the Cape again.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Okay.
for all your work, Tavi, for getting that together.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you.
So do we have any other new business? Not seeing any other new business.
I have an idea, though. It's not new business.
Oh,
Sorry.
yes, Joan.
Judy, do you think we can maybe arrange like a little lifetime learning program about her mom, Eleanor's mom? I mean,
Our grandmother, yeah.
your grandmother. It could be a very interesting one day. I don't know if you have that, Eleanor, but it's really, or we could do something when the painting arrives, Tavi, a little PR about getting the painting and, you know, just would promote the library. I think anything like that would be really great.
Yeah, we could talk about it.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea, you know, whether it's a lifetime learning or just, you know, some other event, so to speak, that we can make available through Zoom.
And maybe Anne could do like a little art project with it to really play it up. We can get some, you know, the newspaper there or something.
That's actually to expand that, Joan. There's other really nice artwork in the library that it might be interesting for a lifetime learning program to highlight some of the art that's in the library.
Yeah, that's a good point, Jan. I think
Mhm.
so. I wonder if someone might want to maybe work with Tavi, you know, to, you know, see how we might scope something and what might be appropriate and, you know, who might be willing and or able to do an appropriate, maybe guided tour of the Snow Library art. But
Fun.
not that it has to be that expansive, so to speak, but I think it's gives us some ideas to think about and put together, you know, whether it be focused on this particular gift or use this gift as a way to highlight a few other pieces, so to speak. Because you're right, there are some very interesting pieces, both paintings and woodwork in the library,
Right.
you know, that are worth educating people about.
Maybe Judy could just take that idea back to Ellen for fall or winter. Judy, you're on mute.
Sorry, I forgot about that. Yes, I'll be happy to take the idea. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, be fun.
To the committee, and we'll see what we could come up with. And, we do have an art historian. I mean, an art historian who does lectures during lifetime learning. Whether she'd be the right person or not, I'm not sure, but I'm just thinking out loud.
Right, sure.
Oh.
I also,
So yes,
it
good
also
idea.
it also makes me wonder whether the Crane Gallery Group might be also,
Yeah, that's true.
there might
Yeah.
be some people there, or they might be interested in this. So I think there's a couple of avenues we could pursue in terms of.
Yeah, and there are some other there's some art people who do programs up at about artists up in the
Right.
Wellfleet Provincetown area that I
Mhm.
know of that might be possible people as well.
Yeah, one's a good, actually, they're all good friends of mine. I could pass that on to mention it to
Mhm.
them.
Any other ideas?
Dave, if I can jump in, not to
Yes.
belabor it, but I just want to share, I used to love to watch, and this goes back, I think, 20 years. There was a PBS series that a nun called Sister Wendy used to bring you
Oh,
to
yes.
art collections.
Yes.
Between the friends and library trustees, you might find a Sister Wendy that wants to dig into your collections and be the tour guide on TV. I mean, it was fascinating to follow her knowledge and depth about all types of artwork. And the library does have a fabulous collection.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
And we do have a security system now.
Yay.
Yay.
Not seeing any other new business or ideas. Would someone like to move to adjourn?
So moved.
Second,
Good. Thank you all.
Record-breaking 35 minutes.
I know. I was thinking we may have set a new record, but
I think so.
I'm
But,
glad I tuned in at the beginning.
Pretty amazing. I've been Zooming all day, and this is definitely the shortest meeting of all.
Uh,
well, after our meeting last month, it's nice to have a short one.
sure.
Okay, so I think our May meeting is in a month, and that will be, I think, our last meeting with Carolyn and Mary and Mary Beth as well. So anyway, we'll look forward to that, and thank you all for your attendance, and enjoy the rest of the evening.
thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you very
you.
much.
Thanks.
Tav, when's the next Friends meeting?
The next Friends meeting is